How's it going, guys? It's Friday, out in the garage. Gonna take a 2-second break here and explain that something that's going on with me and my son. We're members of the Old Mini Bike Forum. Okay, basically it's a forum, just like it sounds. It's a forum. They discuss old mini bikes. You could buy parts. You could sell parts. You could talk about engine modifications. People do dyno tests. All sorts of good things. Definitely a good site. But every year they have a bike build-off. So last year I couldn't get into it because we had just moved away from the twin engine bike and I was getting back onto this. So I figured I'd have this thing going in March. I miscalculated what March we were talking about, but that's another subject. But this year we're going to enter. We're either going to enter 2 classes or 1 class. We're definitely entering 1 as of right now. The other class, I'm not sure, because I really don't know if I'm gonna have the time. I'd love to do it, but I don't think I'm gonna have the time to juggle getting the wagon back together, this other project with little guy, and then work on mine. So, but we entered juniors in the 2015. I was gonna say 2005, 2015 open class, which means it's a stock frame. And then you could do any modification you want to it after that. Okay, that's more our style. The resto class, I'm not really a resto guy. Then they have one where you could do whatever you want, basically make it a trike, like you Dizzy's doing and stuff like that. Then they have the just for fun class, which I was going to enter the twin engine in, but like I said, I'm not going to have the time to finish that off right. Not by the deadline. The deadline's March 31st. So at least with this project, Junior could do the brunt of it while I'm doing something else on it. I'll bring a piece of this to work and I'll explain why. But this is what we entered. Got to make up a sign, 2015. This is an Arco, Alexander Reynolds Corporation bike. We're in the open class. There's my name on there, one bad slingshot. Okay, this is there's the bike, the frame. Now you guys might have remembered this one. There's the one with the seat with no padding. Okay. Basically what's going to make this different is, because a lot of people do this and then they have to make a little drag bike. We're going to take the methanol motor that I had. Okay. This is blueprinted methanol, like go-kart engine. Okay, so it's about 9 horse. But what we want to do is we want to do multi-fuel, and that's where it's all going to change. So this carb in this tank will be history, as well as that exhaust is going to be history. There will be a header on it, but not that one. Okay, the engine is fresh inside, other than this cover. I never painted it. I don't know if you guys remember. But I want to run, now the multi-fuel is all Junior's idea. So, but I have to get involved in this because the fabrication is going to be a little bit more entailed than he can handle. I want to run 2 carburetors on this thing. Okay, on 1 intake like they do on the racing 2-stroke motors. Well, think of a 6-pack on a Pontiac engine. They run the center carburetor, and then when you get to a certain point with the progressive linkage, the other carburetor turns on. Similar to that, but different. Okay, on any one of these carburetors, you could lower the throttle plate to the point where the carburetor turns off, and that's what I want to do. I want to have 2 carburetors. We're going to use the split tank. Okay. So there'll be 2 different fuels in here. I want to have the main carburetor running regular gasoline, and that's what it'll idle on. Or you could drive it around on that. It's going to have 2 throttles, 2 independent throttles from each other. Okay, it's going to have a normal twist throttle, and then it's going to have a thumb type. Okay. I want to be able to run it on that, idle it and run it, but I want the second carburetor in intake to be running on 20% nitromethane. All by itself. The fuel bowl will be full. Everything will be independent. So you could stop using the regular gasoline and run the nitromethane. Okay, that'll be jetted for the engine, the whole shamoo. So it'll go from like 9 horse to about 15 horse, just like hitting the nitrous button. In so many words. So I learned my lesson on those engines to keep the intake short and tight. Forget about the long runners and building velocity and all those other things that could make your horsepower and torque. We can't do that because I learned all they do is vibrate the float and flood the engine. So we are going to probably come out and go down and keep two carburetors tight to each other, tight to the block, keep the vibrations down. And that's what we're going to run with. So that fabrication is going to land on me, which I'll do bits and pieces of after I get the front of the wagon together. So I'll do that at work. I'm not even going to do that here. That'll give me something to do at lunchtime. Keep me occupied. Then of course we'll fire up the engine, make sure the whole system works, and by that time, hopefully he has this thing fully stripped down. It's not a major rust problem. The only thing that is, this foot peg broke off on me because it was stiff. So that just needs to be reworked, re-welded. The plate's all intact, no cracks, which is good. This is all good back here. This thing originally had 1/2-inch axles in it. I don't know if you remember, we had re-drilled the back, and I put the 5/8 axles in the back and a 6-inch wheel in the back. And this one we left with the small bearings, but I put a 6-inch wheel in the front. This thing originally had 4-inch wheels. So the frame is nice and long. I like this frame. I don't know if it looks familiar to you, but they are different. This is a late model Arco. That's an early model, Arco. It doesn't have folding pegs. This one's got an open plate. That one's got a solid plate. There's a couple differences. These handlebars bolt on and off. Those were part of it. So, but it's a nice, long, comfortable frame. So, and somebody put this thing on here. Spin it to slide the motor. I'd like to go to jack shift. Okay, because I'm not looking for 80 miles an hour with this thing. We're looking for just the power and the grunt. So I'll probably go to jack shift and slow the speed down just a tad. Very similar to probably the same setup I put on there. I'll jack shift it on here, and this thing will have more than enough. So we have pretty much all the parts we need for this, kinda, almost. So his job's going to be to strip it for now, and as it's stripping it, we'll start marking it. And like I said, we have till May 31st to get this done, so we have a little while. So just figured to let you guys know, because I'm making the entry as we speak, so I'll let you guys know what's going on. Ooh, something's in there. Should kick that thing off. But so that's it, guys. I'm gonna call this video done, and I'm gonna work on the wagon. I need to get up in my attic to get the 2 side windows. That's what's holding me up right now. I got to get up there. Then I got to clean the rear window gaskets. Cause next thing is the windows. Then we're gonna jump right to the front of the car, and then all the fun shit starts. Then it'll start to be a car again. So it's not a car till it's clean in my eyes, and it's far from clean. Oh, I did clean the windshield, just so you guys know. So, well, that's it, guys. I'm not gonna ramble on anymore. Everybody have a good day, and maybe we'll put the stacking clutch on here, the Horseman on here. That'd be sick. I want to see a change.